let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion, who's joining us now to talk about this. You heard a little bit from Ed there, and in our last hour from Scott McFarland. Nikole, what are you hearing from congressional Republicans and your sources?
Well, we are starting to get trickling out of reaction from Republicans. A few Senate Republicans have weighed in, such as Florida's Rick Scott, who called this a slap on the wrist. Tennessee's Marsha Blackburn saying that this is a sweetheart deal with no jail time. You also have over in the House, Congressman Bob Good, a member of the House Freedom Caucus, saying that Hunter Biden's, quote, apparent crimes are a diversion from the real issues. So I would expect that we will continue to hear similar lines of reaction from Republicans as the day progresses and as people start to digest this news. And as the points have been raised by Ed and others, this will likely continue to stoke Republicans' desire to continue to pursue a line of investigation, not only into Hunter Biden, but the broader Biden family that has really been the underpinning of several investigations here on Capitol Hill, which are only likely to pick up steam in light of this news.
Yeah, in fact, let's sort of remind people of what's happening in terms of the House investigation. That this was an investigation into the Biden family business deals, if you will.
That's right. The primary investigation right now has been centered in the House Oversight Committee, which has really been focused on this since the start of the new Republican-controlled House here in Congress. And so, primarily, this committee has been tasked and looking into the Biden family's both domestic and international business dealings. And so, for instance, they have obtained thousands of pages of financial records related to the Biden family, as it pertains to Hunter Biden more specifically. And more recently, what we saw is that the committee recently got a briefing from the FBI on what is called an FD 1023 form. And this is a form that was redacted by the FBI that contained information from a human confidential source. And so there has been some contention over this document, so much so that at one point the chair of the committee, James Comer, had threatened to hold the FBI director, Christopher Wray, in contempt of Congress if his agency didn't turn over this document. And so what happened was the FBI not only briefed Chair Comer, ranking member Jamie Raskin, on this particular document, which has details from this source about an alleged bribery scheme involving the Biden family. And so, while Republicans contend that this source is very highly credible, Democrats feel that this is more of a debunked testimony, that this is just someone who is likely spreading conspiracy theory. So there's been some discrepancies between what exactly is contained in this form, how legitimate this evidence may be, and again has sparked an entire fight really among the committee. And just recently the entire committee had access to this particular document. And the next steps from here is that we do expect the committee, and the chair has made clear that he will likely call in more witnesses related to this particular case in terms of their broader probe, looking into some of the financial dealings of the Biden family, including potentially Hunter Biden's ex-business partner and associate who worked with him on this Ukrainian energy company, which is kind of at the center of part of this investigation.
My guess, Nikole, is that this news breaks at an opportune time for Republicans who don't have to answer a lot of questions about President Trump's appearance yesterday night on Fox News. So I wonder if in almost every instance you're hearing a lot of Republicans responding to this, but not to things that the former president said yesterday evening. And my second guess is that a lot of Democrats aren't probably saying much right now.
Well, it is a bit of a split screen moment, but as reporters, that doesn't mean that we stop asking questions about this. As we have seen in the response following the Trump indictment, that many Republicans have been pointing the finger at President Biden in terms of his handling of classified documents, which remains under investigation. But others have also pointed to this investigation into the Hunter Biden and the Biden family, and really, in their view, getting up upset with media coverage, feeling that media isn't giving this case involving Hunter Biden enough attention, and that all the focus has been on the former president. So to your point, perhaps this allows them the opportunity to turn the page, but also, both of these cases are front and center. I mean, we just learned in terms of the Trump case that will go to trial in mid-August. So, this is very political in nature on both sides. In terms of Democrats, they have largely steered clear not only of the Trump indictment, but also with respect to Hunter Biden. And as I mentioned, in terms of this fight that has emerged among the House Oversight Committee, there have been a lot of concerns among Democrats that this particular case is being overly politicized. So while they may be making similar arguments about different cases, it will unlikely stop the spin that we get from both sides of the aisle as both of these stories develop.